Hello everyone. So in today's lecture we are going to study another bracketing method, and that method is bounding phase method. Okay. So in your bounding phase method, this method is used to bracket the minimum of function. So just like your exhaustive search technique, it is also a technique to find out the minimum of the function. Right. So in the bounding phase method, your algorithm begins with the initial guess and then we move towards the search direction. All right. So basically in this what happens is that you see we have a, let's say, this is x, we have a function fx. Okay. We have a function fx. All right. So we know that this is your, for x equal to x star, we will get the minimum value. This function is, let's say, this defined in the interval of a comma b, right? This function is defined in the interval of a comma b, and at x equal to x star, we will get the minimum value, right? So to find out this value, the point which will give the minima of the function, in your bounding phase method, what we do is we start with the initial guess. All right. So what we'll do is we will start with the initial guess. So we will take, let's say, x equals to x naught. Okay, we will take a value x equal to x naught. All right, and then we will also find out the neighboring values of this x naught. Okay, and that neighboring value is found in the at a very small interval of delta. Right. So what we'll do is we will move in both directions. We will move ahead in a small interval delta, in and will move behind again in a very small interval delta. All right. So of course this will be x naught plus delta, right? And this is x naught minus delta, right? So this is your x naught plus delta, this is your x naught minus delta, and this was our first initial guess point, right? This was our first initial guess point. All right. So then what we will do is we will find out the function value of these functions, these points, right? So what we'll do is we will find out the function value. So we will find f value of fx naught. We will find the value of f x naught minus delta, and we will find the function value of f x naught plus delta. Okay. So if your if these functions follow a very specific relation, that if your f x naught is less than f x naught minus delta. Okay, if this value of this function is less than your f x naught minus delta, but it is greater than f x naught plus delta, if it is greater than this, greater or equal to, right? If this is the condition, then our this interval delta is positive, right? So if this is the case, then what we will do is we will move to another guess point. Okay. So now after this condition is fulfilled, so this was our first guess point. All right. This was our first guess point. Now we will move to another guess point. Okay. What we will do is we will take another guess point, and this guess point, let's say, is x1. Okay. Right. This point is, let's say, x1. So the value of x1 is again find using a specific relation, and we will discuss about this specific relation. So what we'll do is we will find, well, another point x1. All right. Again after this we will find another point x2. We will find another point x2. After this we will again find another point x3. Okay, so if we have like our if the function value of x3, if your function value of x3 is greater than function value of x2, then we will terminate the our iteration and we will say that the minimum value lies in between this range. Okay, so just like what now what we are doing is we are finding out the points in which the minimum of the function lies. Okay, so let us understand the algorithm in which we have to proceed in the bounding phase method. So your algorithm is somewhat like this. So in the first step, we have to find out the initial guess, right? We have to take the initial value x naught, and then we have to find in which increment we will proceed. That increment is delta, and we will set our k value equal to 0. This k function is a kind of constant, and it is used to assess the next guess value. Okay, so in the first step, we will take the k to be 0. Then what we'll do is we will find out the value of neighboring points of our first initial guess value, that is function value of x naught minus delta. We will find out the function value of x naught plus delta and also the function value of x naught. Okay, if this is the relation that is being followed, then our delta is positive. If we have our x naught point, function value of x naught is greater than the f x naught minus delta but is less than the f x naught plus delta, then our delta is negative. Okay, if none of this is coming, right, if we have a relation apart from this, then again we will move to step 1, and what we'll do is we will choose a new guess value, or we will choose new incremental value, or we will choose both of these new value, that is new initial guess value as well as new incremental value, as the case may be, right? Okay, so if these conditions are satisfied, then we will move to step 3. Okay, we will move to step 3, and in this step 3 we have to find out the new guess point, and this new guess point is found using the relation x to the power k plus 1, that is the next point, that is the next point, xk plus 1 is equal to x to the power k plus 2k into delta. All right, so in the initial scenario we took k equal to 0, right? Suppose if you take k equal to 0, so our x1, that is next guess point, will be equal to x to the power 0, right, the first guess value, plus to the power 0 into delta. So this is your step 2. So after this we will find out the function value of x k plus 1. We will find out the function value of x k plus 1. Now if the function value of x k plus 1 is less than the function value of x k, that is the previous one, then we will set the k equal to k plus 1 and go to step 3. Okay, we will go to step 3. If we have x k plus 1 greater than x to the power k, it means we have find out the bracket in which our minima will lie, and we will terminate the iteration, right, and we will find out the range in which we will tell the range in which the minima of the function will lie. Okay, so these are the algorithm through which uh, your bound phase method technique is proceeded. So if this value of delta if this value of delta is very large, then of course the bracketing accuracy is poor, but the iteration process is very fast, right? So if we let's take the same example. If in that function fx, right, this was a function, so defined in the range of a b, this was your point which you will get. So if you see, if you proceed in if you take larger bracket, right, if you take smaller bracket, so of course we will have to move in a very smaller iteration. We have to find each points. Okay, we will find each point till we reach the bracket value, but you see the data that we will get will be very accurate. Okay, the range that we will get will be very small. Okay, so the bracket that we will get will give you more precise value. In contrary of this, if we take larger bracket, if you, let's say this is the first larger value of delta, sorry, if you take larger value of delta, so suppose if this was your delta value, then next point is suppose here, right? This is your delta value. So the range in which the minima will lie will be quite large. Okay, so the iteration might be completed in a very small steps, on a very less steps, but the range that we will get will be quite large, and therefore our accuracy will be very poor. Okay, so for better understanding, let us do a numerical. Okay, so let us do a numerical on this bound phase method. Okay, so we will take the same numerical that we use for elimination exhaustive search method. Okay, so taking the same question, we have to find the minima for fx equals to x square plus 54 by x. Okay, the same question that we did in the exhaustive search technique, right? For a better understanding. Okay, so this is the question, right? So let us do the question. So first of all, we will what we'll do, let's see what does the algorithm says. The algorithm says that we have to the, the algorithm says that we have to choose initial guess value and a incremental value, right? And in the first step we have to set k equal to 0. Okay, so let us take the initial guess value. Okay, so let the initial guess value let the initial guess value x naught is 0.5, right? The incremental value delta is, let's again say 0.5, and take k equal to 0 as has been mentioned in the step 1, right? Now let us move to step 2. All right, so what does the step 2 says? The step 2 says that we have to find the neighboring values of the neighboring functional values of the uh, equation. So we have to find f x naught minus delta, we have to find f x naught plus delta, and we have to find f x naught, and see if which of these relation is being followed. Okay, so there is if okay, so we have to find f x naught, right? So your x naught is 0.5, so 0.5 square plus 54 by 0.5, right? So the value will be 108.250. Okay, then we have to find f x naught minus delta, right? Your f x naught minus delta, that is we have to find f x naught is 0.5 minus delta value, and delta here is again 0.5. Okay, that is f of 0. Let's put 0 in the equation. 0 square plus 54 by 0, which is infinity. Okay, then we'll find f plus delta, right? So that will be 0.5 plus 0.5, which will be f1. So this is 1 plus 54 by 1, that is 55. So if this is the scenario, then what is the relation that we get? We get f0, that is infinity, right? This is maximum, this is greater than f 0.5, and your f 0.5 is greater than f1, that is this was your f x naught plus delta minus delta. This was your f x naught minus delta. So I hope you are doing question along as we are moving, right? Because if you are not doing the question, then there is no point of like just watching the video, right? So take out your calculators and pen pencil and do the question as we move along. Okay, so this is the relation, right? And let's see which is it. So your fx naught is less than fx naught minus delta, but it is greater than fx naught plus delta. So we say that our delta is positive, right? So delta is positive. Okay, for delta is positive. This is your step 2. So this is your step 2. Okay. So now let us see what is step 3. So in this step 3, we set x k plus 1, that is we move on to the next guess value, right? We move on to the next guess value, and that value is found using this equation. That value is found using this equation. So let us move to step 3. Okay, let us move to step 3, and step 3 says that we will find the new guess value. We will find the next guess value. Okay, and that is found using formula xk plus 1 is equals to x to the power k plus 2 the power k into delta. So in this case the k was 0, right? So your x to the power 1 will be equal to x to the power 0 plus 2 to the power 0, and our delta is 0.5. So your x to the power 1, sorry, x1, not to the power, okay, x1, okay, x1, this is equal to 0.5 plus 1 into 0.5. So this will be your x1 will be 1. Okay, so this is your step 3. All right, let's see. So we have completed step 3. In step 4 we have to find out the function value of fxk plus 1, and we have to find fx to the power k and see if your fxk plus 1 is greater or lesser than the fxk. Let's see. First of all, let's see if it is greater or lesser. So we are now moving to step 4. Okay, step 4. So your f x1 will be, let us put the value 54 by 1. Okay, so this is 55, right? Your f x not, our x0 is, what is the value of fx0? 108.25. 108. So please set your calculators to 3 decimal places so that your answer matches the answer that we are doing right now. Okay. So through this we observe that our fx1 is less than your fx0. Okay. So if this is the case, we are having this case, right? We are having this case. So if this is the case, we have to set k equal to k plus 1 and again move back to step number 3. Okay, so what we'll do is we will set k equal to k plus 1 and move to step 3. Okay, since this is the scenario, so what we will do is we will set k equal to k plus 1. So your new k value is 0 plus 1. So your new k value is 1. Alright, the new k value is 1 because initial k value was 0. Alright. Okay, so now we have set k equal to 1 and then go to step 3. That is, we will again repeat step 3. Alright, let's repeat step 3. Okay, now we will repeat step 3. Alright, so in step 3 we will again, let's see, before step 3, so in our step 3 we will again find out the new value of we'll find out the new guess point and we will move ahead. Okay, so we will guess next point. So guessing next point. Okay, guessing next point. So now again using formula x equal k plus 1 equal to x to the power k plus 2 power k into delta. So our new k is 1, right? So in the previous step we have set the new value of k, that is 1. So we have x1 plus 1 equal to x to the power 1 plus 2 to the power 1 into 0.5. So your x2 is, what was the value of x1? What was the value of x1? The value of x1 was 1. 1 plus 2 into 0.5. Okay, so your x2 value will be 2. Your x2 value is 2, right? So we have completed step 3. Now let us check the functionality of this point. Okay, so we are moving to step 4. We are moving to step 4. Okay, we will check the value of fx2, which is equal to f2, that is your f2 is equals to, what will be f2? 4 plus 54 by 2. f2 is 31, right? So your f2, is it greater than f1 or less than f1? Your f1 value was, your f1 value was, what was the value of f1? Value of f1 was 55. Okay, so your f2 is 31, f1 was value of f1 was 55. Okay, so from here we can see that your f2 is less than f1. So what we'll do is, we will set k equal to k plus 1. So the new k, in the previous step we have set out the new k. Okay, so we have to set out the new k, and in the previous step we have the value of k to be 1. So this is 1 plus 1 equal to 2, right? We have set new value of k, that is 2, right? And move to step 3, and move to step 3. All right, so now we are moving to step 3. Okay, again we are moving to step 3. If possible, pause the video and repeat this iteration yourself, okay, and see if you are doing it right or wrong. Okay, so yeah, we are moving to step 3. So in step 3 what we'll do is, we will get the next point. In step 3 we will guess the next point. We will guess the next point, and the next point is x3. x3 is equals to 2 plus 2 square into 0.5. So your x3 will be 4, right? This is your step 3. We have find out the new guess point. Now what we'll do is, in step 4, we will find out the functionality. So your f x3 is equals to 4 square plus 54 by 4. So this comes out to be 29.5, right? 29.5. So your f2 was, what was your f2? f2 was 31, right? So your fx3 is still less than your fx2. Okay, so since again your fx3 is less than fx2, so what we'll do, we will set k equals to k plus 1. K equals to k plus 1. So in the previous step k was 2, so we'll set k equal to 3, and revert back to step 3. Okay, see, writing this statement basically like helps you sort out the things, right? Because many times what happens is, we are repeating the same thing, right? So sometimes if you do not write the language, especially in the exams, right, when you have to deal multiple questions in a very short period of time, right? So and the questions are lengthy, require a lot of calculations, right? So in such scenario, when you write the statement, the things becomes much more sorted out. Okay, that's the only purpose of writing things. Okay, so I encourage you also, while solving, write these statements, so as to ease out the step procedures. Okay, so again let us move on to, revert back to step 3. So we have set the k equal to 3. So we will find the new guess point. Find the new guess point. We'll find the new guess point. New guess value, sorry. New guess value. We'll find the new guess value. So that will be x 4, which is equals to 4 plus 2 cube into 0.5. Okay, so this will be 8. Okay, this is your step 3. Let's move to step 4. Step 4, your step 4 says that we have to find out the functionality f x2 fx4. Okay, fx4 equals to 54 plus 54 by 8. So this is equal to 70.75. Okay, all right. So this is your fx4. So your fx4 is 70.75, right? So your fx4 was 70.75, and your fx3 was, what was the value of fx3? 29.5. Okay, so now we have basically find the iteration in which your fx plus 1 is greater than fx, right? So in this case your fx k plus 1 is greater than fxk, where your fx plus 1 was 70.75, which is greater than 29.5. Okay, your this is your fx4, this is your fx3, right? So we have find the range. Okay, so now we can terminate the iteration. Okay, we can terminate the iteration. Okay, and now we have to give the range. So let's again refer to algorithm. So in case if this is the scenario, then the range lies in x to the power k minus 1 and x k plus 1. Okay, so let us specify the range. Okay, terminate the iteration, and the range in which the minimum of function will lie. That range is x k minus 1 and x k plus 1. So what was the value of k that we had last set? The value of k was 3, right? So your x to the power 3 minus 1, x to the power 3 plus 1. Okay, so this will give your range to be x2 comma x4. Okay, so your x2 value was your x2. What was the value of x2? What was the value of x2? Your x2 was your x2 was 2. Okay, let me just write it. Your x2 was 2. Okay, so your x2 was 2. x4 x4, so what was your x4? x4 was 8. Okay, so this is the range, right? Let me just correct it first. Okay, so this is the range in which the minima of the function will lie. This is the range in which the minima of the function will lie. Okay, so this is how this bounding phase method is done. Okay, try and do the question again. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment section, right? Okay, thank you.